Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Portland on the Move. This is a show that interacts the Town Tech Educational Partnership with Portland High School and the Town Hall. And I have a guest host with me tonight, none other than our own Miss Susan Bransfield.
Good to be here, David.
Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Good to be here.
We got a great show for us tonight, and we have one of our veterans, and she has been immortalized in our intro as. For many years now, and she's a fixture around town, but we're going to talk about the food bank tonight, and with us is going to be our food bank director, Miss Ruth Maio, and she's been doing that, holding that job down for 40 years.
Many years.
Many years, okay, many years.
Many
okay.
years.
And, she has been a staple in the community, and thank you for coming on, Ruth, again.
You're
and what we try to do every year is you do a phenomenal job in coordinating that food bank and making it all happen. What would you say, Susan?
Absolutely. It's a
We
wonderful
try.
place, yeah.
And
Warm and welcoming.
absolutely,
Great place.
absolutely. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And those two handsome gentlemen that you have right aside of you are, they're kind of new members of our business community. And as you can see, the bags on the table, they were instrumental in helping you stock your pantry shelves this year.
Yes,
and
they
so
were.
forth. When we have, first we have Mr. Kevin Roulard, okay, who's the Vice President of and Sales of the Adams Hometown Food Chain. And Kevin, you've been the Vice President for 39 years. You've been in the grocery business for 39 years, and I think you've been, actually we're partners with now our new selectman, Mr. Rick Shar, who is now got out of the grocery business, is now delving in politics now. So thank you.
Politics and real estate.
There you go. Thanks for coming on, Kevin. And right next to, in the middle here is Mr. Bill Maffer. He is the store manager at the new Adams / hometown, Tri-Town, old Tri-Town, but you'll never recognize the place. And Bill has been in the grocery business for 44 years.
Yes, sir.
And it's not your first rodeo, definitely.
No, that's for sure.
Bill, thank you so much for coming on, and both of you guys, really.
Thank you for having us. Thank
Anyway.
you.
But, I think getting back, I think our premise this evening, Ruth, is to obviously make people aware of the good work that you do, but also make people aware of the need that's out there and
There's
so
a
forth. Would you say,
Yes,
Nate?
yes.
I know Susan in her office, she gets, deals with social service and that type of stuff, and you can
We
talk
do.
a little about
We do.
that.
Yep. Yep. If people are in need, they will call my office, and either Michelle or I will try to ascertain what their needs are, and more often than not, we call Ruth, and we're able to send them to the food bank for, as I said, it's a warm and welcoming place. It's not just for food, but it's also for fellowship. And whenever I send someone or invite them to go to the food bank, I know that Ruth and the people that work with you will treat everyone as if they were one of their family.
True.
And that's what's so wonderful. The need has increased. The need doesn't seem to decrease, does it? Ruth?
No. It grows every year. I thought over the years it would we'd be out of a job. But that's not happening. There are more and more people using the food bank. The numbers are greater now, and the needs are more.
Right.
So hopefully with all of our volunteers and all of the people that support us, we'll be able to fulfill the needs of the community.
Being a volunteer organization, tell us a little about, your staff down there. I know you have many regulars. We have our associate director over here, husband Lindsay is there, and of course, your able assistant, okay, who would actually chauffeured you over here. I'm sorry.
And my daughter.
That's your.
That's my daughter too.
Really?
She works at the food bank. She's
Yes.
just as much a hard worker as any of them.
You're not old
More
enough
so.
to have a daughter then.
Oh, thank you.
My gosh, okay. Thank you very much for bringing Mom over. So talk a little bit about the volunteers, Ruth, on who helps out.
We have about 12 regular volunteers, and these volunteers help us on Mondays and Thursdays from 9 to noon. They kind of have their own little jobs. They know where they want to be and what they want to do. So when they come in the morning, everybody knows where they're supposed to go, what they're supposed to do, and we get the senior center, the basement of the senior center, prepared for the morning. And we have one entire room that we use just for clothing. We have, the Knights of Columbus had a huge drive for us, a coat drive, so now we have winter coats. And
Wonderful.
this past Monday, our coats were coming in and going out very quickly. We have a whole room filled with clothes, anywhere from infant baby clothes to adult clothes. Everything is volunteered, and everything is in excellent condition. Everything is very, things that are needed and available for anybody that needs these items. We also take in things such as small kitchen appliances, as long as they're workable, dishes, whatever we can take in and whatever we can put on display there for our clients to take. So we're a very, very busy place.
One thing we were talking about before the show started is what a wonderful town Portland is. And not just the organizations, the churches and the nonprofit groups, but the individual people. Maybe tell us a little bit about how the food arrives, whether it's from groups or I think we're going to talk a little bit about some of our businesses that also help.
Definitely.
Maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
We have food items that come in from everywhere in town. We have different drives. The Boy Scouts had a huge drive. Kelly Minetti was in charge of the drive. And we had a lot of food that came in from there. And Adams, they had another huge drive for us. And those items were just brought in. And it's amazing. The beginning of October, we thought that, we looked at our shelves and we thought, uh-oh, you know, we're going to be hurting, because we weren't sure that we were going to have enough food to be able to give for our Thanksgiving baskets and our Christmas baskets. Thanksgiving, we gave out a little over 100 baskets.
Wonderful.
And now for Christmas, it'll be 100. Right now, we have 115 families signed up for Christmas. And this means not just food, the food baskets, but also we give toys. And it's amazing the number of toys. We have different organizations in town that donate toys. And we have 2 volunteers, 2 that have been doing it for years. And they come in whenever they can, and they fill our bags. And so on December the 22nd, we're going to have 100, maybe more than 115, but at the present time, 115 families that will receive not only food baskets, but also toys, bags of toys for the kids. And we also service our seniors. We have a table that we have gifts for our senior citizens.
Nice.
And yes, and going back to who donates, everybody donates. We have individuals, families, we have churches, we have businesses, schools. Our schools are fantastic. They have all kinds of drives, toy drives. Thanksgiving, we had turkey drives. So we were able to provide our turkeys and just all the things that are needed. It's provided by the people of Portland.
Wow, yeah, and I know you mentioned Kelly Minetti. I know the Boy Scout food drive, and you know, just to let people know how that works, the Boy Scouts. Okay, I think this was Troop 2, I believe. Was it?
I'm not sure what
it is.
I think.
Troop
It
two.
is Troop
Just
2.
Troop 2.
But basically, they have brown paper bags, just like we have
Yep.
here on these are from Adams, but they basically go around town, okay, and put the brown paper bags on everybody's doorknob, okay? And, you know, they just leave a note on it, says, you know, if you can donate a few cans or something to the food bank, we're gonna be coming back and collecting those, okay, the next weekend. And, you know, people, it's very unobtrusive, okay? Oh, this is great. You put what you can and you put it out on the front step, and the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts, they filled pickup trucks, okay, and driving around and so forth. And obviously that, you know, you reap the benefits of that.
Definitely.
As far as that goes. But, you know, the Exchange Club, and both Susan and I are members of the Portland Exchange Club. I'm past president, and they haven't got you for president yet, but I'm sure that's
okay.
coming. So, you have a lot more on your plate, you know, as far as that
Yeah.
goes. But the Exchange Club, I know every year does a food drive, and I know Frank Keogh from the Portland Exchange coordinate it with you, I think, Bill, as far as that goes. But tell us how that happens. And again, you know, Adams Food has done a phenomenal job. Okay, so tell us how that drive originated.
Well, what we basically did for the month of November, we sold hang tags, we call them hang tags, to the customers that come through the checkouts. And they were for $1, and many people donated to that cause. Also, you know, you mentioned the bags, and Susan, you mentioned the people of Portland.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it's important to say that to make these bags, many of the kids that work in the store, they got excited because they put them together. Mm-hmm. And as they put them together, you know, we put them on a table, and customers and the employees would buy the bags. And we stored them down in our basement, and you know, last week we delivered them.
Yeah, yeah.
wonderful.
And then the nice thing about them, and Kevin, why don't you know, just point those out over there as far as that goes. You had different denominations, and what makes it so cool, okay, is that they made, I think that's a $10 bag.
Yep.
This is a $20 bag. They put them on tables, so you know, basically from a customer standpoint, hey, I want to give to the food bank. Oh, here. Put it on a checkout and you're done. So I think the items now, how
Well, you know, we would talk to Ruth on items that they would need.
Okay.
Okay, and based on the need, we would put together a list, and we'd bring the products, you know, as I said up front. The kids had a ball, you know, and they put it together. They got excited. And, you know, as we sold more and more of them, they made more, and they were very happy to do so. So it was a lot of fun for everybody. And as I said, Susan, you mentioned the people of Portland are just
Very
terrific,
generous.
very generous.
Yeah, and I also want to point out how important it is that our food bank manager and the people who work there are very careful about how the food and the other important supplies are disseminated. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that, Ruth, so that people know that when they do have generosity and donate, they know that it is going correctly and it gets to people directly.
Right. We do have sort of a policy. When someone new comes to the food bank, what we have to do is we have to screen them. So we have to make sure that they are a Portland resident because we only service Portland. But they have to show us that they're on food stamps or disability or in financial need. And then we have them make a list out of the foods that they need, and we fill their bags. And most of the time, we have most of the items that they need. We also have personal items, which a lot of the food banks don't have. Shampoos, conditioners, paper towels, dish soaps, and personal items, deodorants and toothpaste, toothbrushes, so it's not just food items that we give out. Right now we have between, I would say 20 to 40 people averaging a day when we're open that come in. And they come in, it's every 30 days. They get enough food to last possibly a week. And hopefully by then their food stamps will come into play. And then clothing, they can come in anytime they want for clothing or the small the small items that we have, home items, they can come in and take those. But usually we have about 200 to 240 individuals that we service a month. So, and our numbers
tremendous.
keep growing.
Yeah, and it's because you're so organized, Ruth, and because you do quality work for the people who live in Portland. And I've known people that while they may have been recipients of the food bank, they also come back and they either work or they contribute. Once perhaps they get back on their feet and they're able to then turn the table, and they're there to help others in need, because you never know when it might be you or I that need this kind of assistance to get us through times that are, you know, pretty rough. I hope we're going to talk a little bit too about the new grocery store in Portland that we're so proud of.
We are, you know, Ruth, when I asked Ruth to come on, I says, look, we're going to put you on for the first segment because she has a very strict bedtime policy. So we want to make sure she gets home and gets her footed pajamas on and so forth. And then we're going to feature a little bit, focus a little bit more on Kevin and Bill over there. on the great job that they've done. But I think, the partnership that both you and Bill and Kevin have provided, as a means of a vehicle to, assist the Portland residents in making them aware, okay, obviously of the need that is out there. And and unfortunately, it's not just our town. I think and Susan, we're gonna talk a little bit about too, as far as the current state of the economy, okay? It's not great, and I think that's just a trickle down thing.
Right, absolutely,
And I think,
absolutely true.
If you agree on that, but
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
we don't know from a standpoint, and Susan can, talk more directly to that, but, she is a board of selectmen and the CEO of the town, okay, they had issue, okay, they by state statute have to produce a budget. The state didn't do theirs, but we did ours, so how did that trickle down?
Well, it's still ongoing, I would say. While the legislature did pass a budget and the governor did sign it, within a couple of weeks, he decided that there needed to be a pullback on the dollars that had been assigned to the towns. I understand the legislature may be going back into a special session again to discuss mitigating deficit and taking a look at perhaps being able to maybe restore some of those funds. The difficult part is, we're talking here about how our town is organized in terms of the food bank and utilizing the churches and the businesses and the community, and planning ahead so that when people come in, they know that they can get the supplies and the resources that they need through good planning. And what's unfortunate within our state right now is that the planning piece is somehow missing. I'm hopeful that as we proceed, we'll be able to get on a better footing going forward for the next fiscal year. But it's keeping politics out. It's saying this is what we need for our state. We need to come up with a plan for how we're going to improve our economy. Not just this year, not just next year, but what is the long-term plan for how the economics will be improved in our state. And I still contend that if everybody gets together and has the same focus, the same goal in mind, and that is improving Connecticut, getting us more jobs, making sure that when people are in need, we take care of them, and making sure that we're supplying good education and services, we can do it.
Sure.
What becomes difficult in politics is people want to one-up the other person, or they're uncertain that they can trust the other person. I hope that's going away. And I was very, very encouraged that the budget that was passed is a bipartisan budget, that it was Republicans and Democrats that got together and saw the focus and said we can pass a budget. Portland works very well with its state representative. Representative Carpino does a marvelous job for us. She keeps us informed. She comes to all the events that we have in our town. We are working well. Our town works well, and we work well with others. And I'm hopeful that as we move forward, we'll get through this crisis and plan ahead for the good days and make sure that we're able to do at a statewide basis what we try to do on our local basis.
Sure, absolutely, and obviously that trickle down effect obviously trickles down to where you are.
Yes, it does.
Right.
And so forth, and I'm sure it trickles down to where Bill and Kevin stand to. I mean, basically, when you're dealing with public and people only have so many dollars to spend. It's not like they have an open
Right.
checkbook. It's you have to budget just like the town does. As far as that goes. So anyway, but Ruth, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
welcome.
You're one of our annual guests, and I certainly do. And I thank your daughter and husband for accompanying you over here. Okay, and I promised I would get you home in your jammies. So, but appreciate that. And,
Well, Merry
Thank you
Christmas.
so much.
Merry Christmas to
Thank
you,
you,
and
and
thank
Merry
you for
Christmas
all
to
of the
all
good
of
work,
you.
and again, the food bank, we're gonna keep talking on that, with Kevin and Bill, as far as that goes, and obviously, you can always keep taking donations, correct?
Always,
Always. The door is always open.
always
so.
open.
All right, we're going to take a brief pause. We're going to be right back, and we're going to be talking with, obviously, Mr. Bill Moffer, who's the store manager at the new Adams Food Store, and Kevin Brulard, who is the vice president of Adams Hometown, on a lot of their efforts, and I think they helped our economy.
Yes.
I
We're gonna
think
talk about that.
They improved our grand list.
Yes, I would say, yes,
So,
to a
anyway.
positive way, yeah.
All right. Hey, we'll be right back here with Portland on the Move, and this is our December show. And thank you again to Miss Ruth Maio. So
Thank you for inviting me.
don't go away.
The Center for New Media brings together a series of innovative media production programs here at Middlesex Community College.
My perspective, it's actually a production playground encompassing all aspects of media production.
New course offerings, a new facility on campus. It's a new era.
The type of student that I think will most benefit are the students who really want to be on the cutting edge of the dramatic changes that are happening in society and media.
What Middlesex Community College is offering students, especially with its new media program that it's building, it's really a center of excellence for media. And so I'm excited, as somebody who works in the industry, to bring Middlesex graduates into ESPN, or really to any media company.
Media industry in Connecticut is growing much faster than it is nationally. And industry is looking to Middlesex Community College, and particularly the Center for New Media, to provide them with employees well-trained with hands-on skills to help them meet the needs of the future.
Our industry has seen pretty interesting growth. There have been a lot of different stages of evolution.
Speaking for Connecticut, it's becoming quite the production hub.
There are a lot more outlets now because of the explosion of web and multimedia production.
It's one of the fields where there's so much to go into. You know, you could go in any direction. You'll never be unemployed.
I think there's more opportunities than ever for people with these types of skills.
So the fact that Middlesex is now really investing in students' future by making sure that they have that equipment so they can train on things that they would be using in a normal newsroom is just beyond thrilling.
In building a state-of-the-art facility, you put people in touch with equipment that we're using in the business.
There's no other program that gives you that hands-on activity, and you combine that with a modern facility, and it really puts Middlesex at the top of the heap.
We have successful students involved in all areas of existing media production.
Wherever you go in media, you'll find a Middlesex Community College graduate, whether that's locally at ESPN, at NBC Sports, or you can leave the state and you can go to Hollywood and find graduates on some of the major network television programs and on some major feature films.
I started in the Coast Guard, and then after that I went to Middlesex Community College. And for the past 4 years, I've been in ESPN, and it's been a wonderful experience.
At WFSB, we've hired dozens of Middlesex students. Having been a student there myself, I know what kind of hands-on experience that they're getting at school.
I feel as though that my education at Middlesex is the best thing ever. I mean, I went from a part-time intern to managing the #1 website in Connecticut in less than a year.
After being out of school for 25 years, I decided to study corporate video production, and I'm so glad I found this program. In 1 year, I've learned so much. It's amazing.
After having a career in graphic design, I took a little break, had a couple kids, and when I chose to come back to the workforce, I was considered a displaced worker from the state, and I qualified for the Workforce Investment Act, which is the WIA scholarship program. I chose to attend Middlesex Community College to upgrade my technical skills, and I am really pleased and impressed with their programs, the courses, and the faculty.
We're really excited when we get a student from Middlesex because I know that they're a student who's prepared.
The transfer process from Middlesex to Quinnipiac was really easy. Not only did I save money going to Middlesex, I also was able to commute because as a high school senior, I wasn't ready to go to a 4-year school. So Middlesex was definitely a good first step for me in my education.
As a master control operator, everybody works, the producers, the talent, and they all comes down to one room, and that's you. So you have to be able to handle that pressure.
Our program's unique in the state because it's very hands-on. You get to use the equipment right away, and we have award-winning faculty.
The Center for New Media faculty is passionate about what they do, but most importantly, they're passionate about their students and seeing them succeed.
Professors and teachers and even administrators, like, they want to teach you, they want to help you. It's more one-on-one.
We come from the real world and we know what's out there, so we know what they're looking for, and we gear our students to that so they have a solid basis of what the industry is looking for.
I graduated in 1988. Here we are 21 years later. I'm a CEO of a business that's still growing and expanding, and I'm still drawing on the things that I learned at Middlesex now. And in fact, giving back and reaching out to interns and new hires in my business, and that was pretty much always my goal. And it's kind of a dream come true, actually.
Be a part of the new era at Middlesex. Visit mxcc.edu/cnm to apply today.
Maybe the ice fishing one. Hey, we're back. How are you?
Yeah.
And we're back live here at Portland on the Move, and this is the show that interacts the Town Tech Educational Partnership with Portland High School and the Town Hall.
Yes.
And
Good
with
to be
us
here.
this evening is, I'm not rowing this canoe by myself tonight.
Good
I
to
have
be
Susan.
here.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
Dave.
co-hosting. And,
Good host.
Anyway, again, Susan, I think it was great for, we try to have Ruth on every year, and she does such a great job down there.
Outstanding.
And so forth.
yeah.
So, but more importantly, I think, you know, the two gentlemen that we have here tonight are, you know, part of the community that help her do what she does and do it well. So, and again, just we have Mr. Kevin Brulard, who's the Vice President of Adams Hometown Markets. Okay, and Kevin, thanks so much for coming on.
Great to be here.
And with
Thank
your partner in crime, Mr. Bill Muffier, who is the store manager, and both of you guys have been in the grocery business for many, many years, and we certainly do appreciate, you know, your presence in town. So I know you guys just finished a humongous renovation, and tell us a little about that, Kevin, on how that's got started and go from there. Obviously, our Rick Shar, who's owned it for many, and I think you were partners with Rick.
Yes, I was a
too.
partner with Rick from November 2000
Oh, okay.
until
Long
June.
time.
2 years ago.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And so now he's into politics, and now you're into you're rowing the
I'm still
canoe.
doing it.
You're still doing it. So tell us how all that came about.
Well, we started about a year ago.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I think what we did a good job internally within the Adams organization was what are the needs of the town that we haven't been addressing as well as we could have? What do we need to do better? Where are there opportunities? Sort of work from the consumer backwards,
Okay.
and then try to make it fit.
Mhm.
And so there was a heavy emphasis on perishables, fresh, prepared food, cold, prepared food, hot, sushi, pizza station, hot bar, soup, rotisserie. So pretty much
Bakery too, right?
the expanded bakery
Okay, yeah.
with decadence case and full floral.
Yeah, very
So some of
nice.
the things that were missing in the past became the focus, and I think we did a pretty decent job pulling it off.
Oh, I think you did.
It's entirely different.
There's no question.
store.
You wouldn't recognize it. You really wouldn't. Now, as far as, and I know you've got, how many other stores that you have around the state now?
The group is 13.
The 13 stores.
yeah.
Okay. And now are primarily you're under the Adams flag now, obviously.
The Adams banner is the dominant one. Of course, Tri-Town was 2.5 years ago. The purchase, the East Line location is
Right.
still a Tri-Town banner.
Okay.
On Route 395, we have 3 Better Values. And then there is a Rhode Island store, Jerry's, and an Adams in Munson, Mass.
Wow.
Well, we're thrilled with Adams. I mean, you're doing just a great job. I enjoyed the open house, the grand opening on Friday, just this past week. Do you want to talk a little bit about the grand opening? I was there.
Yeah, yes, you
Yeah,
were,
it was
Susan.
fun.
Thank you. It was very exciting. You know, we put together 200 bags with goodies in them for the first 200 customers, and so happy to see a great turnout. And You know, we talked about it earlier before we aired that you know, the mix of folks was great. You know, we had young people, we had senior citizens, we had middle-aged. It was just we had children. I mean, it was just a lot of fun.
It was
And
fun.
it
Yeah,
seemed like
it was fun.
everybody had a
Festive.
good time when they
Yeah.
came in. So
Yeah,
it was really exciting.
We were greeted with the bags. Your employees were right there. And what I enjoyed was learning a little bit about Adams and how you got established. I think you were telling me about how you got started. Tell us a little bit about how Adams got started.
Well, when in the mid-90s, when Ahold purchased Stop & Shop and Edwards became one company, they had to divest a number of stores in Connecticut. And so that was, Adams stepped up and grabbed 11 of them. And that was the basis of the company. Some of them remained, some of them were closed. And then they've added stores in the last couple of years. So it's a Connecticut-based.
Yes, we like that.
We've invested heavily in Deep River, Milford, obviously Portland, and both in terms of
Well, you believe in Connecticut
people,
with your
equipment,
definitely. Definitely.
And you know, it should be pointed out, we met with Sue and Mary Dickman back about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, at when the remodel part was becoming obvious to the customers. You know, just we have weekly job meetings. They came to several.
Yes, we do.
They were very good about input, taking pictures, posting it on the town news. So I think some of the anticipation and some of the excitement that we saw last Friday was somewhat due to they're giving it a push on their end too.
And it's very pleasant. The decor is very beautiful inside. I love the old pictures of Portland, as well as the brightness. The lighting is wonderful, and of course the food. The food is really good. Fresh food is important, of course, and being able to get food for your lunch or your supper, and it's ready. You go home and heat it, and it is healthy and nutritious, and we appreciate that very much. I think you've keyed into what the consumer's needs are and what the consumer wants to have. It doesn't take long to go into Adams and get your food and go home. And that's one thing that I think is so important for our busy families and for single people, couples, that need to have healthy food and have it ready for them and be able to go in and get it quickly and in a friendly place.
You know, I think we were talking prior to going live again, you know, the differences between, and I call them the big box stores, you know, as far as that goes. And, you know, I know, you know, in just referencing the, you know, the difference between you and Stop and Shop on the meat side. So tell us a little about that. I know most of all of the big box store, everything is coming prepackaged now, and, you know.
Yeah, and that's, you know, a decision they made for labor efficiencies. But we chose that because we feel the service meat case and butchers on hand that can custom cut what you'd like, can maybe give you a little tip on how to cook it, maybe recommend a different cut. And we try to do as much as we can with pairings and recipes. And we actually just finished shooting some videos that we're going to start launching on Facebook that are all meat department based.
Sure, okay.
Because we feel that if we exploit that, it can be a strength.
Right, right. Well, if we can help you out on the videos thing, we'll have to
That's
come
right.
down and
Town
talk.
Tech
Yeah,
does
we
a
can
fabulous
we do a
job.
lot of those
Yeah,
and
they
so
do.
forth. So, you know, I know from a design standpoint now, your designs are kind of similar, but you know you're upgrading those all the time. Now, how do you determine your design factor on your builds? You know, on the stores.
Well, we have a staff in Cheshire.
Okay.
And Dave Fault, and he is puts a lot of the stuff out there with a design team and a decor package. Lighting, I think we did a pretty good job. It's all LEDs, and it's also going to reduce between the LED lighting, the doors and produce, doors and dairy, additional doors and frozen. We're actually, despite the remodel, we'll have a energy footprint that's less.
Okay,
wonderful.
Because of the efficiency.
Something that the town, Dave and I are teaming up, we're going to become what we call a sustainable town, which they talk within this group. It's through Connecticut Conference of Municipalities and actually Eastern Connecticut State University. And what they're promoting is just what you said, make sure that your energy footprint or your usage reduces. Use energy efficient appliances. Make sure that however you can in terms of lighting, make sure that you're reducing the amount of energy that you're using. And there's also this concept of food waste and making sure that food that perhaps is not used is properly disposed of or is
Bill can
recycled. And I
talk to
know
what we're doing that.
Adams is doing this, and maybe you could talk to the viewers
we,
about that.
we recycle everything, okay? And any food that is either out of code or that is past the date that we should sell it, we recycle. We have a company that comes out, they pick it up, okay, and they recycle it. So, you know, as Kevin says, we do a lot. We recycle bags, we recycle cardboard, and you know, it's just good for us.
And all your
it's good
new
for the
equipment, your
community.
refrigeration equipment.
The refrigeration, you know, we spoke a little bit on that. You know, they told us the equipment we had before was, you know, so they use so much energy that probably we could run 4 or 5 of our new cases on what one did
Really?
before.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how much energy that you know, we're
technology.
saving. And you know, we talked about the lighting, all LED lighting. Not only is it bright, but it you know, saves money too.
Sure, absolutely.
So you know, it all came together pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. I know you got us some pictures. You got us a lot of pictures. Unfortunately, they were huge. They were high resolution pictures. So we're going to try to put up a few of the pictures that you have. You know, one of the features, and I hope we got that one resolved. But you talk about the beer cave. That's you know that is a new amenity, and a lot of the stores are doing that type of thing now. And I think from a standpoint of it saves energy, obviously, and you know, it's all reducing that energy footprint. So anyway, Kevin, if you can see if we can, there we go. Now there, so take your, who wants to talk here? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bill.
Well, this is the you know, the grand opening celebration, and we have some of our folks you know, standing in the entrance handing out these gift bags. Those are the first 200 customers, and again, there was a bunch of goodies in there, free items and coupons, and that was, you know, and I said it before, you know, when we were talking about the bags for the food bank, the kids that worked, they were so excited that day, you know, that they were doing this, and the customers loved it too, I think.
And here you can see a lot of the LED lighting, the lighting fixtures and so forth, the new flooring, and I think the overall layout, you know, is just. You'd never know it was the same store.
No. Many residents think you've expanded the store. Did you expand the footprint of the store?
We did not. The store is exactly the same size.
It looks so much bigger,
What we
Bill.
did is we really are focusing on food. And we've you know, cut down on many of the SKUs or the grocery items that we had in the past, which opened up more room for food, bigger produce section, meals, seafood, bakery department that Kevin spoke of earlier. So yes, you're right. Many people thought that we were much bigger, but it's exactly the same size. We just changed things around a little bit. That's all.
Very nice. Very colorful.
So here's your produce.
Jim, one of our produce guys, and we made a conscious effort to expand the organic presence, and so that's part of that right there.
How about employees? Have you hired new employees?
Oh, yeah, and when I first took over the store back in May, I think it was, we roughly had maybe 60 employees. Now we're up to over 100.
Wow.
So it's, you know, 40 employees, and I'm still hiring, you know, as we continue to grow, and thanks to, you know, to the support from the community, you know, if we can continue to grow, we'll hire more people.
Yeah, it's a boost to our economy, Bill, and certainly to our grand list to have this infusion of investment in your store and therefore in our community. We much appreciate it. It's really great.
Now this is obviously your meat department.
Yeah, that's Steve. He's the seafood manager, and you know, he does a great job. And, you know, we talked about the new cases. The new seafood case is really spectacular.
Yeah.
Again, energy efficient. It's built with misting systems inside.
Wow.
That keeps the seafood fresh and moist.
Okay.
And so is that service meat case that we're looking at now is also built with a mister. And these misting systems just keep the meat fresh and looking good all day long.
You know, and residents have said to me, it shows that you really respect our community. You're investing in Portland and showing that you care about us, that the products are wonderful and varied, and it's really, really a great place for everybody to shop.
And Susan, you know, we talk about investing and caring. The customers care about us too. I mean, I've met so many people,
nice
especially over the last couple of weeks, that just, you know, complimentary. Love the store, love what we're doing. So, you know, that I appreciate that. You know, I
good
appreciate
feedback.
that very much because, you know, we work hard, the customer works hard, and together, you know, we can provide a nice experience. I hope.
And the history of having Tri-Town, and before that, I think, Dave, was it?
Well, it was First National,
Yeah.
you know, it was, you know, my God, that has a lot of history in that store.
It
And
does,
so
yeah.
forth, so. Go back to that other, there we go. Okay, Kevin, what's this one here now?
That's, he actually was making a breakfast pizza there because that was that opening time. But Mark, and we put the pizza oven in, and we brought in a couple pizza experts to develop our dough, and we're just using real clean ingredients, thin crust, and basically 11 o'clock on by the slice or whole pies.
Yeah.
Wow,
And,
nice.
Nice stuff.
Nice. All right, next one. Let's see what we got. All right.
This is as you're coming around in front of the if you're standing, say, in front of the service seafood area looking into the deli. So part of the reason I think it looks as if it was much larger is the lighting and decor helps, and also the better sight lines.
Yes.
So there's a lot more, as you could see, in open space.
Now, in back there, Kevin, is that where the kitchens are?
Yeah, it was one of the things we talked about at length, 8 or 10 months ago is if you have this vision of what we would like to sell to the consumer, then we got to make sure we can produce it. Right. So we did made a considerable investment in a kitchen, blast chillers, et cetera, so that can...
See, your experience pays off. You've both got great experience in the industry. Yeah. Well, it pays off.
All right, we got another one in there? There we go, okay.
Nice.
And then we're trying to focus, as we always have, on as many local niche items, as long as they're good quality, good story, mostly family-owned. This is Louise out of North Haven, Hamden area. Great people. We went down, did the tour, and we set them up, and they're now in probably 6 of our stores right now. But great items, and it's been very, very well received. That's
That's as you come in the store?
That's as you come in. That's the prepared.
That's my favorite place.
Yeah.
That's a big focus.
Mine too.
Go ahead, Bill.
Well, this is our meals case. 24 feet of prepared meals. It ranges from pre-made salads that are available every day, sandwiches, subs, wraps, and family-sized meals. We even have the party-size meals available. And we talked about we were lucky enough to join the Exchange Club a few months back when we first started, and I was excited about this, and I was a little worried too because I wanted to make sure that we did the right thing with this. But it seems to be taking off. It's just a spot where people can come in after work or for lunch, and they can pick up all quality meals, bring them home.
And you're a hands-on manager. You're there, and
thank you.
And you've helped me find things. I mean, and what about if you don't carry something?
Well, what we do is, believe me, the customers are our best report card. They will tell us what we do wrong and what we do right. If there's items that aren't in there and they are interested in having them, we'll take the rest. Say if they're asking for chicken piccata, and we don't have that. Well, we do, but if they want chicken piccata, we'll figure out how to make it.
Okay.
And we will make those items. So it's not a set menu every day. We have certain items that are there all the time, but we try different things too based on what the customer wants.
Okay, yeah. Now, as far as, I know prepared meals, I mean, that's kind of be very in vogue right now. I mean, with everybody's lifestyle and, bringing kids to soccer practice, the dance lessons, the music lessons, the, football practice, and everybody's running, and I think the fact that you do have a wide variety of select, both hot and cold, correct?
Yes, I mean, we have a hot food buffet bar that's, right in front of the deli area. And that's hot food that's made, from lunch through the dinner hour. And there's different items every single day. For example, on Friday we would have Fish Friday, and we would have different items, but we change it. But it's hot, fresh food every day on the hot bar.
Do you deliver?
We do.
You do?
We do. We do. We deliver. We have a small. We have a delivery van now. Okay, and we do deliver groceries to some of the folks in town. So we do deliver.
Okay.
For some people, that's important too.
And it's not a firm rollout date, but I would say before the end of the first quarter, we will in Portland have online order and store pickup.
Very important. Yeah.
And
it actually reminds me of things in the way we shopped when I was younger. As a little girl, we always would call the market and phone ahead and say we needed these items, particularly for Sunday dinner. And then my dad would go out and pick up the food and be all ready for him, and then go home and cook it. Or there's always been grocery stores that will make certain items in the neighborhood store that you would go and get. So for me, it really brings back the old-fashioned way of personal service and making sure that quality food is there that's healthy for your community, and everybody still likes to go there all the time and talk. I mean, that's another important part about going to Adams.
The social aspect.
It is.
Come on, it's just like it's almost like the transfer station, at the landfill. People go down there, and it's just like a home day on Saturday mornings. Okay, whatever. But
well, Portland prides itself on small town values and small town opportunities, and having a store that is not too small, large enough to supply us with what we need, and caring enough. I mean, I think that is very important to our community, that we have retail and also other stores that give back to the community. And every spring, when it was Tri-Town, I would go to the golf tournament, and now that it's Adams, I went this last spring. Talk to us a little bit about how you fundraise and help our community. Maybe Kevin.
yeah, we actually started the tournament in the spring of 2001. When I joined Rick, I'd had a little experience doing that, so he said, go for it. And we involve our wholesaler, vendor partners. It's a good opportunity for, like our insurance people and people that we deal with that aren't necessarily food vendors, an opportunity for them to get involved in something once a year for us. We run it at Quarry Ridge. And I think over the 17 years, I think we were about 75 or 80,000 locally.
Wonderful.
Safe grad nights in the high school towns that we're in. Town parks, rec, Portland Fireworks, of course, has always been a major. We try to do at least 1,500 a year to the fireworks. Food banks, and whatever might be the hot button.
Yeah, it's very important for the health of our town.
And then we have a good day.
That
it's a good day. It's a fun day.
Yeah.
Sue comes down.
Yeah,
we'll have
fun.
2 or 3 of the other people there, and we run a little video of the day, and we'll throw that on the website and Facebook later. So
Sure.
it's good. It's good. It's fun. It's
That'd be
worthwhile.
Great. That'd be great. We're going to take a brief pause. We've got a little PSA. We're going to be right here back. But we have with us is Mr. Kevin Roulard, Vice President of Adams Food Hometown Markets, and also our local store manager, Mr. Bill Muffer, who is also the man on the ground here in Portland here. So we'll be right back. Don't go away here at Portland on the Move.
During the winter, you don't have to hibernate. Join the growing sport of ice fishing, where you can experience the thrill of the catch and enjoy the great outdoors during winter.
It's just having fun, waiting for a fish to bite, and you get to catch one, and it's so exciting. Well, she just gave me the rod, and then it started to move. cold, and and then we reeled it up, and yeah, and we caught a fish.
Out on the ice, you'll meet entire families, groups of friends who have fished together for years, and even some strange but harmless ice fishing enthusiasts.
Gee, that sounds like fun.
This video will introduce you to ice fishing, a fun and unique cold weather sport. A great place to start is your state's fishing guide. It contains ice fishing regulations, license fees, and a list of lakes and ponds where you can fish. It may even contain information on fishing classes or events you can attend. Let's get started learning about ice fishing.
Wait a minute. It's cold out here. How do people stay warm?
No, it
feels cold out here today. You guys look like you're ready to.
Said, hey,
you've got all your layers and everything.
Oh yeah, we got wrists
all
and
about
layers.
6 months ago, I did that to
Right
Bill.
here, we're out in 20-degree weather.
Hey, Bill, guess what
we're
we gotta do
smiling, we're
tomorrow
having a great
morning?
time. You dress
our radio
warm for
station.
it. You dress in layers. And I'm not cold one bit. You look like you're a little chilly, though.
Winter weather can change rapidly. It's always better to have more clothes than you think you might need. You may find yourself drilling holes during a calm sunrise, then braving a snow squall hours later. An icy start to the day may yield 40-degree temperatures in the afternoon. In order to become an ice angler, you must be an adventurous type of person.
All right, I'm sold. Where can I go ice fishing?
Check with your local bait and tackle store to find out where fishing's been good. You can access lakes and ponds at public boat launches and parks. Try areas where people are already fishing. Talk to other anglers and ask questions. Ice fishing is a very social sport. If you know the lake, fish the same areas you did before the water froze.
Hey, what about ice safety?
As a general rule, fish near others who are already set up on safe ice. Drill a hole close to the shore to check ice thickness. 4 inches of clear, newly formed ice may support one person on foot. Move out from shore, checking ice as you go. Ice thickness can vary even on the same body of water. Buy or make ice picks to wear around your neck. These picks will help you pull yourself out of the water if you break through the ice. You should also bring a rope or floating seat cushion so you can toss it to someone in.
Here we go.
Okay, we're back.
So now you have all your ice fishing tips.
Yes,
So-
I do.
so,
That
you know,
was
to go-
fascinating.
Okay, to go from there. All right, back with Bill and Kevin. So we got a couple more pictures here, Bill, and one of them is my favorite. So I think Kevin put those. Let's see. There we go.
Oh.
All right. So tell
Party
us how
time.
This concept. How does that work?
Well, this is the first one in the company. As we mentioned earlier, that you try to improve with each remodel.
Yep.
So this was the first one. It's, as opposed to having a space on the floor and a walk-in cooler in the back, it sort of combines that, so it's a little bit more efficient space-wise. Everything is cold, and it actually, because the shelving goes all the way to the floor and goes a little higher, your linear capacity is a little better.
Sure.
And on social media, it was the highlight.
Is that
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that right?
They
Well,
like to talk
and I
about it.
think from
the focus on micros and locals.
Sure.
And,
And the other thing is obviously when you got on a, and I don't know what the laws are on hours that you can sell beer, but remember when you couldn't sell liquor after 8 o'clock. Remember you used to have to throw the blue tarps over them.
yeah.
Now you can just lock the door.
Correct.
That's
As far as that goes. So basically, I've been in here, okay, and so you can actually go in and go out, okay. There's a door on each end.
Yes, there is,
Okay,
yep.
so it's not one-way traffic; it's two-way traffic, and to go from there. Now, from the types of beers, do you find that microbreweries are becoming very in vogue now?
Yes, there's no question. The microbrews are very popular. It seems with, it used to be with the younger folks, But now it seems like everybody's buying the microbrews. And there's folks that are, they're going to just buy the Budweiser and the old
Bud Lights and
the Bud
whatever,
Lights, et cetera. But the microbrews are very popular. Again, we talked about taking requests. I get requests every day about different kinds of beers from the local breweries.
Right.
And we do our best to get them in as soon as we can.
And I think the last picture we have, here we are.
Oh, there we are.
Susan, there you are.
Yeah, so that was fun. That was just last Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, the 1st of December.
And so forth. So you are officially open. You're officially operational. The place is looking real spiffy.
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank
So,
you.
hey, on behalf of both Susan and I, and thank you so much for I know this was a kind of a short notice thing, and but I appreciate you rearranging your schedule and Kevin your schedule.
It's great to be here.
For making it happen.
Thank you for having us.
And so forth. And this is going to be obviously airs at least 4 more times during the month on Comcast, but it's also going to be on our YouTube channel. But
yeah, we thank you, certainly not just for tonight, but for, as I said earlier, investing in Portland. And I think making the trend toward buying local and making sure that what we have is what we need and the high quality. The other aspect is certainly the high quality of your employees. Everybody that I meet in your store is kind and able to help me if I need something, and just fun. I mean, it's just, they're happy there. You obviously treat your employees well, and that's very important to me and very important to Portland.
Thank you.
So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And again, more importantly, thank you for doing such a great job and helping Ruth Maio out with the food bank and your donation bags and all of that kind of stuff. So anyway. So that about wraps us up here for Portland on the Move. And again, our Portland on the Move show airs the first Tuesday of every month, live here at the Comcast studio on 199 Shunpike. We air from 7 to 8. That's our new time now every month on the first Tuesday. So if you'd like to be on Portland on the Move, contact myself or Susan at the town hall.
I had fun hosting. This
Yes,
was great.
we got to do
you.
this
Yeah,
more.
I
My
like it.
God, yeah, and so forth.
That's
So
great.
again, guys, thank you so much,
Thank you.
and we'll hope to see a lot more of you guys and go from there. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
from all of us here on Portland on the Move, have yourself a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and a happy holiday. So I think we're done.